Good morning, everyone. And I'm saying good morning, or my morning voice, because it is 6:30-ish in the morning. It is raining outside here. Summer rains in South Africa. But I just thought I would do this video early in the morning while the house is quiet, before the cleaning lady gets here. She's been on leave. Thank goodness she's coming back. But I wanted to share my recent trip away that I had with my son. It was just me and my son. My partner gifted us a 2-night stay up in Joburg. Joburg is inland from where I stay in South Africa. So for those of you who don't know South Africa, I'm on the east coast, and then if you go a little bit inland and up, it's Joburg, and it's a lot drier there. It's the same kind of weather. Obviously, it's hot summer, but it's not as wet and rainy. Where I stay, it's the greenest part, it's the rainiest part. KZN, we get all the rain. Anyway, so my son and I went there. So how we ended up going on this trip is that a while ago we took the boys there to see ballet. We wanted to give them culture, and it's in a place called Monte Casino. And Monte Casino is a shopping and gambling complex. There's a lot of restaurants, there's a few shops, there's gambling, there's movies, there's theaters for live shows, all there in this complex, but it looks like Italy. It is built in an Italian style, and when you walk through, all indoors in this place, it looks like you're in an Italian village. It's so quaint, it's so beautiful. Okay, the only thing is it's indoors and there's the noise of the center. You know how shopping centers always have that noise. Anyway, when we went there, it was about, I think, 2 years ago now, 3 years ago. My son was like, whoa, this place is amazing. He was just fascinated that this place looked like a little town. And so I said to him, one day we'll come back. One day we'll come back. And now my partner's son was just not as enthralled. It's not his thing, not his cup of tea. And I just said to my son, why don't we do it this holiday? And, you always think, oh, it's expensive. Oh, I can't afford it. And I thought, he's 15. He wants to spend time with his mom. Let's just do it. We will worry about the money. I can always save it back up later. And so we did it, and it was wonderful. It was a 2-day trip. We stayed at a hotel right there. It's part of that whole shopping casino complex. So they have 4 hotels, different affordabilities. We stayed at one of them, which means we could walk. We walked from the hotel into that complex, and they also have a bird garden. So there was stuff to do. So what we did, we were just away for 2 nights, but what it meant was we were 2 nights, 3 days. So traveling for the one day to get there, and then the 2 nights, and then traveling, obviously, the other day to get back. So that's all eating out. So all meals were eaten out, which means I didn't buy any fresh, healthy food. I had to rely on the hotel and eating out. So I thought, oh, I'm probably going to come back 1 or 2 kgs heavier. Turns out I did not. And again, I wanted to share with you, which I've made a video before on how I actually lost weight on holiday. I'll link to that video in the description box below. And this time I didn't lose weight, but I didn't gain any weight. So on the day of leaving, I weighed myself quickly that morning. I was 52.5 kilograms. I'll put that in pounds on the screen. Upon getting back that afternoon, I weighed myself. I was 52.6. Okay, so it went up by 0.1. Okay, so not much. I basically ended up weighing the same, and usually my morning weight is a bit less than my afternoon weight anyway. So there we go. I didn't take any running shoes or anything, just knowing that we would walk. So the day we left, I ate my normal breakfast, my normal weird breakfast, my gelatine pudding, which is when I mix egg with gelatine and a bit of milk and a bit of something, and I flavor it with cocoa and sweetener to make like a healthy, high-protein pudding. I had that, and then when we got to the airport, we checked in and went through, and I had a cappuccino, which is one of my guilty pleasures. It's not a guilty pleasure. I mean, cappuccinos are fine. It's just that there is a lot of milk. So I always treat that as like it's a snack. It's got the milk protein, the milk lactose. I had that. And then when we landed and we arrived at the hotel, they couldn't check us in straight away. It was midday. It was 12 o'clock. So we went for lunch, and I thought, okay, here we go. Here starts the eating. And in my mind, I had said, when we have these 2 days away, I want a lamb shank. I want a lamb shank. It's one of the favorite foods of mine. Lamb shank I love, and ice spine, and well, any kind of well prepared restaurant food like ribs or something, but it's got to be well done. So anyway, we sat at this Italian restaurant and they had lamb shank, and I thought, why not? It's now or never. So I ordered lamb shank. I only had half though. So I took the rest home. It came with rice and it came with creamed spinach. So when I was sitting there, I ate mostly the cream spinach and half, maybe a bit more than half of the lamb shank, the meat. And yes, lamb is fatty, but when you do the lamb shank and you cook it, obviously a lot of the fat cooks out. So it wasn't particularly fatty. There were a little bits of fat inside. And then there was a bit of the skin, I guess, or that connective tissue. But I don't see it as particularly unhealthy because you're getting mostly pure meat. And then the cream spinach, okay, I don't know what they make it with and what they put it with, but whether there's cream in there or it's just like a floury mix, a roux, I don't know. So I had a little bit of the rice. I had mostly the cream spinach. Well, I thought there's my greens and the lamb. And I stopped the minute I was full. I stopped and then I asked for takeaway. And then that evening we went out, and I actually wasn't all that hungry by the evening when we were eating out. We ate after a show. We went to see a show, but I thought I've got to eat something. So I ordered, not the best thing to order. It's called a Philly cheesesteak. It's on a roll. It's bits of steak cut up, and then they fried it with onion and green pepper in like a barbecue basting sauce with cheese on top melted. And then it came with fries. I normally never eat the French fries. I'm not a fan of them. I don't know why. Maybe they're just too oily or greasy or bland, or I don't know. But these ones were divine. It was like they'd taken a whole potato, pushed it through a potato cutter. There was bits of skin on there. It was maybe double fried. It was extra crispy. And the actual Philly cheesesteak on the roll wasn't that great. So like the onion and the green pepper were still a bit crunchy. They didn't taste properly fried. The basting sauce wasn't great. It was a bit too sweet. It was just like melted cheddar cheese on top. It wasn't even browned. So that wasn't great. So although I ate that, I left most of the roll and then I just had the fries. So I thought, oh boy, for sure, the pounds are going to come on. Anyway, I knew we were on holiday, like stuff it, who cares? So we had that, and then I had in my mind, at this place there was a gelato shop, and I thought, we're in Monte Casino, it looks like Italy, I'm going to pretend we're in Italy, I want gelato. So the next day, that was on my radar. Of course, we started off with breakfast in the hotel, and there's always a buffet breakfast. And I know that people generally want to get their money's worth and they want to go mad at the buffet breakfast. But my thinking is, why do that? Just eat normally. You'll never eat like, you're not going to save your money. You're not going to gain back any money. And I don't know. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Just eat what you want. Eat what you normally could eat to the amount of space you have, but don't go mad. But if it's a buffet breakfast and there's items there that you wouldn't normally eat at home that you can't make, wouldn't make, can't find, or it's just who's got the time, then have that. So that's my thinking at a buffet breakfast. And what I like is that there's always a variety, like the fruits and the cold meats and the cheeses and the cereals and the yogurts and the scrambled eggs and the omelette. There's so much that, yes, it can be overwhelming, but I just always try and pick and limit to one or two sections and go with what I feel. And I actually saw they had little mini croissants. So I took that, and then they had a little crumpet station. They had like pre-made crumpets with chocolate sauce, like a liquid chocolate sauce that they had made. And there was some cream and there was syrup and all that. Now, my son, being a kid, he went straight for the crumpets. And I thought, oh, this croissant would go so well with some chocolate sauce. Normally overseas you can buy croissants that are pre-filled with chocolate. They come wrapped in foil. At least in Greece they have those. So I actually made my own. So I took the mini croissant, I drizzled chocolate all around it or near it, and I scooped some cream. And then I took some of the cut up fruit, and that was my breakfast. And I had 2/3 of that. And then I think I went back and I had some of the scrambled egg just for protein. And that was my breakfast and coffee, obviously. And so whilst it wasn't healthy, I also stopped when I was full. And I had, let's say, 2/3 of the croissant, a lot of chocolate sauce, but oh well, I'm on holiday. Some whipped cream. The whipped cream with sugar was delicious. And fruit for fiber. I thought, let's just get some fiber in me while I'm at it. And the coffee was normal, a filter coffee. And that's yeah, that's all. And then the scrambled eggs had, they were very oily. So I think they were scrambled with oil or butter or something. So I dished up like a big spoonful, but I left half of it because it was gross. And that's the other thing with buffet breakfasts. I'll take stuff, and if I don't like it, I'm not going to force myself to eat it. I know it creates waste, but the hotel is going to waste that food anyway. They cannot reserve those eggs. They cannot reserve stale croissants. So, in my mind at least, maybe I'm wrong, but I take the food, and if I don't like it and it's gross, I will leave it and I'll go and have what I'm enjoying because I'm on holiday. I want to enjoy myself. So, my theory on holiday is, for me at least, don't pig out, but don't deny. I'm on holiday. I'm not at home. I'm at a place where I get to enjoy foods I wouldn't normally. I mean, you also don't want to be pedantic about your health and your fitness and your weight all the time. Yes, I care about these things very much, deeply so, but I also want to enjoy myself. So anyway, that was breakfast, and then we took a walk through this complex, this casino complex, the shopping mall, and then they have bird gardens there outside, which are really well maintained. So it's called the Monte Casino Bird Gardens. And it's also got like lizards and reptiles and snakes and spiders and one or two small buck in the bird garden. So we took a walk. So here's the thing. We were on our feet the whole morning from 9 till 12 because we took a slow walk, and then we walked all around the bird gardens, and I was carrying the backpack with, I think it was our jackets, jerseys, a cap for me, a bottle of water. So although we were walking slowly, we were on our feet for 3 hours. And then after the bird gardens, after we'd looked at everything, it was so cute. There was a little parrot there that really loved us. We looked at everything. Then it was time for lunch. It was about 11:30, heading towards 12. We sat down, but I knew I wanted ice cream. So my son sat down and he wanted savory first. So he had toasted cheese and chips. And I thought, look, I'm not hungry right now, and I do want the ice cream, so I'm not going to eat. So I didn't eat with him. I just had a coffee. And then we went and we looked for the gelato shop, which we found. Unfortunately, they didn't have all the flavors ready. So we could only have, there were one or two other funny flavors, and then the only sort of decent flavor was the chocolate. So we each had one scoop of chocolate ice cream, which is not big. It's tiny. It's smaller than my fist. And then they had what I've never tried before called cannellonis. It's an Italian dessert. I'd seen them previously the night before when we just had a look at that ice cream shop. And so I wanted to try the cannellonis because I thought I'm never going to try them anywhere else. I've never seen them anywhere else in South Africa. So they had one that was filled with Nutella. It was fake Nutella. You could taste it. It wasn't didn't have the right taste. You could taste it was like the cheaper version, but it was Nutella one and then a custard one. So I took two of those in a takeaway box and a scoop of chocolate ice cream or chocolate gelato. Unfortunately, it wasn't that great. Very average quality. And the cannellonis were actually not nice at all. They were kind of gross. So I won't be having those again, but at least I tried. So with the cannellonis, the Nutella one was better. The filling was nice, but the actual pastry was quite hard. Maybe it's supposed to be that way. I expected it to be more fluffy like a croissant. And then the custard one just didn't taste nice. So I basically threw it away, which is sad. It's a waste of money, but my son didn't want it. And again, I'm not going to eat food that I don't enjoy. I think life's too short. I'm too old for that shit. And I don't want to put excess calories into my body if I'm not enjoying them. So I thought, no. So the custard one, I tried a bite or two and I'm like, no, not nice. And then the Nutella one, I ate most of it and then I just scooped out the nice part and I left the yucky pastry. So when we got back to our hotel room, I was still feeling a little bit peckish and I thought protein is a good thing to have now because I've just had a lot of sugar. So to like lower the glycemic load and prevent me from having a blood sugar crash, I had the other half of my lamb shank. Unfortunately, I had to have it cold because there's no way to heat anything up in a hotel room. All we had was the little mini bar fridge. But anyway, that's fine. I just sat and I just had the last bits of meat off the bone, and that was my lunch. So although it's bad food, it wasn't excessive amounts. The portion was small. That little scoop of ice cream, exorbitant for what you pay. The price, I mean, you could buy maybe 1 liter of ice cream for that price. But anyway, small little bit of chocolate ice cream, a few bites of cannelloni, and then a little bit of meat. So that was my lunch. And then we rested in the room, and I brought my sugar-free hot chocolate with me. So I had one of those while we had a little rest. And then by the evening time, it was time to go have, we went for dinner, and then we were going to watch a show afterwards. So by that day, I was thinking, I haven't had a lot of fiber. I had a little bit of fruit at breakfast, but it's like a handful of grapes and a bit of pineapple, not much. So I really was craving something healthier, something with fiber. And so when we went out for dinner, I ordered a salad, a nice big healthy salad. We went to a restaurant chain here called Spur, for those of you who know Spur, and they do a salad. But what's nice about their salad is they even put cooked mushrooms, and they have a bit of avo, a little bit of green pepper, a few carrots. Nowadays I find when you go out to restaurants and you order the salad, it's just wilted lettuce, a few measly tomatoes, a couple of like 10-day-old cucumber. It's like not good. But Spur does a really good salad, surprisingly. And then it's with chicken and a little bit of crispy bacon. Now, I didn't see a problem eating the bacon. I mean, it's just a few pieces of crispy bacon. They don't put dressing on it. You can choose. They bring you the dressing on the side. So I just added a little bit of dressing and a bit of balsamic vinegar. And my body was just like, yes, it wanted the greens. It wanted the salad. It wanted the fiber. And then my son had, what did he have? Oh, fish fingers and chips. So that's what I had for supper. And then when we got back to the hotel room, did I have coffee? No, I didn't. So anyway, that was all that I ate really for the evening. Oh, then we bought 3 Lindt balls, and we shared the one as our dessert. And then the next morning again had the buffet breakfast at the hotel, and I decided for a change I would have a flapjack. And that's basically what my breakfast was. I had a little bit of fruit, and then I ordered 1 flapjack, which is tiny, and then I had the chocolate sauce and the cream on that again. And I know that's not a healthy breakfast, but it's not an unhealthy breakfast this size. It's that size. And then I had that with a coffee, and my son had the same. But it wasn't, I wasn't feeling stuffed, So yeah, that's what I had. And then on the trip home, we ate at the airport. And again, I ordered a salad, a chicken salad at a local chain called the Wimpy. And did I have a cappuccino? No, I didn't. I just had a Sprite Zero. And then I had some of my son's milkshake. And that's really it. And it's not a lot of food, actually. So I thought I was going to be eating a lot more volume. Thinking about it now, I actually didn't. But when you're on holiday, I think for me at least, when I'm on holiday, I don't have access to my kitchen like I do at home. So when I'm at home, I'm always thinking of snacking. I'm always making another cup of coffee. I'm in my home. My kitchen is right there. My fridge is right there. So I actually found yesterday was my first day back at home the whole day. I snacked more. I ate more because I knew the food is there. I can go and heat it up. I can go and prepare it. So on holiday, you're out, you're distracted, you're taking in a show, your mind is busy, you're trying to find the place, you're walking, you're getting used to this new environment. And so I actually came back not having gained any weight. And now that I've told you the tale, I actually understand why. It's because there are 3 set meals. I'm not really snacking in between other than tea, coffee, or Sprite Zero or water. And that's really it. So you can go on holiday, indulge in foods you enjoy, eat what you want, and you don't necessarily have to gain weight. But again, I put it in my mind that if I gained weight, so what? But because I was also relaxed, you're on holiday, you're relaxed. Someone else is taking care of the cleaning up, someone else is cooking, someone else is preparing. Your job is to just enjoy. I find I don't want to snack. I'm not feeling peckish. I'm not feeling snacky the whole time. I'm looking, I'm seeing, I'm walking. And yeah, so that's how I maintain my weight over the holiday. And what I want to share as well, just a side note, it's got nothing to do with the weight thing, but just me and my 15-year-old son. And I thought, what a wonderful way to bond. It was, you can do any kind of trip, but any getaway with a person, you will bond, even if it's not your best getaway, even if you argue, even if you you're in a cramped hotel room. Look, the hotel room was fine, but obviously they're always a bit small. But I just thought, as a mother, I'm not into gaming. I'm not into the interests that he is, that this was a beautiful bonding trip and experience. So that was really special as well, which I just wanted to share with you guys. And yeah, it was lovely. And again, because we did so much walking, I also think any calories we put in, we burnt. The main one day that we had there, the long day where we did the bird gardens and we did a show in the evening, that day I looked at my watch, my Garmin watch, and I totaled about 10,000 steps, which is a lot. That's like 10 kilometers worth of walking. And we didn't even walk that much. We spent the afternoon resting in the hotel room. So it just shows you that you can rack up a lot of steps. They were slow steps. They were not fast. We were just doing our gentle thing. Didn't feel like a lot of exercise, but it just shows you how it can add up. So thinking about that in my daily life, I just think, just move. Just move throughout your day. Housework is a wonderful way to rack up steps. Putting in your laundry, going there, taking it, folding it, washing, cleaning, sweeping, dusting. And also, movement doesn't have to be steps. You don't have to get steps in. If you are doing things with your whole body, you packing away, you dishes, unloading, sorting stuff, you using your upper body. Movement doesn't have to be where it kills you, where you feel like you're dying. It can be very gentle. But if you're moving enough throughout the day, you will use up calories. And this brings me to the last thing I just want to say. I have said it before. I said it in a short here on YouTube, but I don't actually like the word burn for calories. You don't necessarily have to burn. It's not like you're putting a flame to them, even in your body. You don't need to generate, well, you are generating heat, but you don't have to be hot and sweaty and like killing yourself to burn a calorie. I think you're using calories. So always think of the word, I'm using up the energy, because you use that energy when you sleep. I'm using it right now to talk to you. You use it when you breathe. Your heart beating uses calories. Oh, and that's a last point I want to make about weight loss, weight maintenance, burning calories, using calories. Unfortunately, the fitter you get, the lower your resting heart rate get, which means that at rest, you're actually burning fewer calories when you are fitter, which also, it's a bit annoying because you think, okay, the fitter I get, the more calories I'm going to burn. But you burn a lot during your exercise, your heart rate goes up, but then at rest, you're actually burning less, or you are using less because your resting heart rate is lower. And that's why people say that my metabolism slowed down, or, as you lose the weight, like on The Biggest Loser, they say that their metabolisms have slowed down. Well, duh, because they are fitter. And when you lose weight, your heart rate goes down as well because your heart's not having to pump so hard to pump blood throughout a bigger body. The bigger you are, the more blood vessels you need to get blood to your extremities. So yes, your metabolism slows down, but it's natural. It's a natural response to a smaller body, a fitter body. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It is what it is, which means when you're smaller and you're fitter, you still have to be mindful of your calories. There are only so many calories a body needs in a day, and a smaller body just needs less. But the good news is you can go on holiday and you can maintain your weight, and you can do it without even worrying about your calories. Just eat to satiety, listen to your hunger cues, and I think it's a lot easier to do that when you're on holiday because you're relaxed. You're relaxed. I didn't feel antsy and like, yeah, when I'm at home and I'm thinking about work and YouTube and how to grow my channel, I do get stressed. I'm trying not to. I mean, I'm trying to be zen about this whole thing, but the sad reality is that my channel hasn't actually grown a lot lately. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an algorithm change. So if I could ask you guys, and I hate asking for favors, but if I could ask those of you who do enjoy my content, if you wouldn't mind, you don't have to do it, but it's up to you. But if you wouldn't mind, any of my videos, whichever one you found the most helpful, would you mind sharing it with a friend or a family member? Even one of my shorts, just share it out there to help my channel grow a little bit. Leave me a comment. It's always good for the algorithm. I'm finding that it's stalling and I'm still putting out the same content. So I think there's some kind of algorithmic change. I think a lot of my subscribers are not seeing my videos, so I would really appreciate any help. And I just wanted to share that story of my little trip with my son and how you don't necessarily have to or will gain weight on a holiday. I know it was only 2 nights, very, very short trip. I did expect to come back a pound or two heavier, and ta-da, it didn't happen. I think yesterday's eating at home was far worse than on the holiday. But anyway, I always love connecting with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.